And of course, if you haven't heard, Judge Jeanine, who was a much viewed correspondent or whatever, speaker on Fox News, a lot of people tuned in when she talked. A lot of viewers. She's been kicked off the air now. BigLeaguePolitics.com. It's happening. Fox News pulls Judge Jeanine off the air. The Murdoch-owned Fox News network has decided to shelve Judge Jeanine Pirro's television show this week after Pirro questioned Islam's compatibility with the U.S. Constitution. In a segment on Democrat Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, an avowed anti-Semite, Fox News Channel replaced tonight's broadcast of Jeanine Pirro's weekly program with a repeat episode of its documentary series, Scandalous. Just days after the 21st Century Fox-owned cable news network said it condemned remarks the outspoken host made about Minnesota Democrat Ilhan Omar. And when they say they put a repeat episode on the series Scandalous, was it by chance an episode of Barack Obama's scandalous fake birth certificate he posted, or is that something else? I must be thinking of something else. Fox News did not choose to provide an explanation to Variety for their report. This should tell you everything you need to know about the Fox News Corporation. Because I remember the days of Fox News with the fake election crap, and they had Frank, what was his name? Frank Luntz. Frank Luntz is on scene. How many of you guys are going to vote for the Republican McCain? Boo! The little side booth, little top, little tent top, little thing. Boo! How many of you are voting for Barack Obama? Yeah! We just randomly selected these people off the streets. Remember that? And then when Barack, I think, ran the second time, when he ran for his second term. So they did that the first term, and then again in the second term. And someone said, wait a minute. I recognize those two people. Those are the same two people you guys said that last time that you randomly found on the street. They're in your tent again? Remember that? Some of y'all might remember that. Fake news network, not Fox News. They're just as guilty. And I've always said, why I can't believe they have, Tucker Carlson. I can't believe they have some of these people on there. They brought Lou Dobbs back over. Whoa, hey. And Judge Jeanine, she was great. But it goes to show you, you get out of line with the big overall agenda, may have to let you go. We watched as Fox News has blatantly lied about our reporting from BigLeaguePolitics.com. He puts a link up. We watched Shepard Smith go to the left of Hugo Chavez. We listened to hours of garbage, pointless, manipulated talking points from anti-Trump former colonels and many other grifters who shill their books. But it's time to wake up to what Fox News is doing. They are not on the American people's side. Read, if neocon Fox News dares to mess with Tucker, they will be declaring war against America first. That's the link they put up. Here is Laura Loomer's incredible article for Big League Politics the other day regarding the Pirro controversy. Maybe Fox News doesn't care, but a whole lot of conservatives and independents out there do. And she writes, we do not negotiate with terrorists. Used to be an unanimous position held by both sides of the political arena in America. But sadly, Fox News is objecting and has indeed negotiated with terrorists in their crusade against free speech and honest dialogue about Islam in America. Fox News was a hot topic of discussion this week after the radical left and their Muslim Brotherhood counterparts decided to carry out their own form of jihad against Judge Jeanine Pirro, one of Fox News' most popular hosts. On Saturday evening, during her opening statement, Pirro sparked controversy after she logically questioned whether or not Ilhan Omar's use of the hijab suggests that she is in favor of Sharia law. So, it's a pretty minor thing, is what they're saying. So, the quote is, she's not getting this anti-Israel sentiment doctrine from the Democratic Party. So, if it's not rooted in the party, where is she getting it from? Think about it, Pirro said. Omar wears a hijab, which, according to the Quran, 33:59, tells women to cover so they won't get molested. Is her adherence to this Islamic doctrine indicative of her adherence to Sharia law, which in itself is antithetical to the United States Constitution? Right, in other words, the United States Constitution and Sharia law are like not even kind of close, is the point she's making. So that was the end of the quote. In case you were wondering whether or not wearing a hijab means one is pro-Sharia, the answer is yes. According to Islamic law, devout Muslim women are to cover themselves or face punishment for violations of Sharia law. Despite the claims of many Muslim women that it is their choice to wear a hijab, the truth of the matter is that according to Sharia law, the sacred path of Islam, wearing head coverings for women is obligatory in most of the Muslim world. The Chapter W, Section 23 of Reliance of the Traveler, the Sharia Manual for Muslims, it states that the hijab is obligatory under Sharia. Quote, a woman must not reveal anything except her hands and her face when outside the home and on the street. End quote. And there's a picture of it. They're taking it right out of there. In other words, Judge Pirro was speaking the truth and nothing but the truth. Following this segment, the Council on American Islamic Relations wrote a letter to Fox News calling for Pirro to be fired for what they call Islamophobia. But what is Islamophobia? It's the biggest hoax ever created. It's a tool used by jihadis in suits and ties, to further their process of civilization jihad, so to speak, and subversion as outlined in the explanatory memorandum, the Muslim Brotherhood's blueprint for an Islamic takeover in the United States. Now, I will tell you, Lindsey Williams said long ago by his elite friend, the Muslim Brotherhood will be given every country you're about to hear about going into civil unrest. An uprising is going to happen in the Middle East. This is 2010. I hear him say it. I do a video talking about it. I just heard Lindsey Williams say that there's going to be an uprising in the Middle East 4 or 5 months from now, and they're going to give all these countries to the Muslim Brotherhood. And he gave the order. Egypt, Yemen, what was the other one? Tunisia, I think, was one of them. Syria, and then after Syria would be Saudi Arabia, except they got stopped in Syria. So Egypt, exactly what they said. They had one guy, and then Morsi, or what was the guy's name was, and another. They had a homegrown Egyptian running against the outsider Muslim Brotherhood guy. Guess who won? 51-49. The Muslim Brotherhood guy. Oh, we'll get him next time. And guess who took over in those other countries? Yemen and what? Muslim Brotherhood. And guess who Obama fired when he was president and put people into his cabinet and other czar positions and all that crap? People supportive of the Muslim Brotherhood. And of course, Donald Trump has gone in and wiped most of that out. But they were already doing it in this country. Again, could you imagine what would have happened if that witch, Hillary Clinton, had won? Those people would still be in these positions of power. Probably more would be coming in. Next thing you know, we might have a major problem on the Supreme Court deciding about Sharia law versus the Constitution and this and that. And next thing you know, all these liberal judges that would have been there for sure. Yeah, Sharia law has it does, we can't be racial and we can't be this and we've got acceptance and blah, 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 and migrants and blah, 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 and freedom for everyone and blah, blah, blah. And for that reason, right, that's where this could have gone. So, again, I thank my lucky stars. What's that song? You're a shooting star. I don't know. I can't think of it right now. But, again, I do thank my lucky stars that Trump is in there and not somebody else. For someone to write a letter because it offended something that a host you have on that gets tons and millions of views, people love her, they adore her, they love what she has to say, we are offended by it. A tiny group of people over here. We think you should fire her. And then the company says, yeah, I guess you're right. We'll go ahead and get rid of her. Talk about, shooting yourself in the foot. Why is it that Fox News has way more viewers and ratings than all the other networks right now? Because it didn't always used to be that way. Because they have Carl Tuckerson on there, right? They've had Judge Jeanine on there. They've got people want to see and listen to, where we can get what is mostly truth from those people. I'd say I don't know if anything I've heard from them I think was false, but we are getting what we're yearning for from them. So as a company, let's get rid of something that's making us a bunch of money in advertising revenue. Let's put repeats of some nonsense. Oh, okay, yeah, because you don't have anything to fill that spot right now. So it's not a business decision. This was not done as any kind of business decision. This was done as we need to find a reason to get rid of some of these people. That's what this is done for. It just goes to show you how far the left, the radicalized left liberal Democrats, how far from being quote unquote American these people are. They don't hold anything. They hold zero allegiance to this country, to its citizens, to their neighbors. They have an agenda, and the whole Islamic thing that they were trying to push is part of their agenda. It's not the only thing. They're trying to push a lot of agenda. Again, look at the EU zone. The flooding of these Muslim migrants. Again, mostly younger men. Now, you'll see a picture on TV that shows you women and children, but when you see people filming it for themselves, posting it online, and you even hear just interviews even of local people, they're all telling you this is mostly men coming over here. Very few women and children we're seeing. So they're flooding these countries in the EU with these men, migrants, mostly Muslims. For whatever reason, I don't care if they're Muslim or not. They just happen to be Muslim. So, sure enough, now that word and stuff is coming over to America. And again, under Obama and them, he was already putting Muslim Brotherhood people in positions of power. And then Trump came in and said, no, the F you're not. You're screwed. Sorry about your luck. I'm going to handle business. And now the deep state, as we've seen, is in a sheer panic, creating fake dossiers, fake news, fake sexual assault claims, fake everything. None of it has even kind of worked. None of it. What's next? What are they going to do next? What's next? You've pulled every trick out of your trick bag. You even had a trick bag inside the trick bag with a dossier in it. And that didn't work. What are they going to do next? They may have to go big on us. Well, maybe you need to take the power out. White Dove thinks that may be happening in her newest report. By the way, and she said in that same report, not only am I talking about America, but I feel like other countries too, the Yellow Vest protests and all these protesters across the country, the world right now in these little pockets or whatever that are protesting their government. The government, I can see them like EMP, power outage, something, to then say, oh, look, we got a problem over here with this enemy, to stop all that. Sure enough, Venezuela has one. Anyways, got to go. Take care.